So our right Vishuddhi, we have to have a temperament, a culture, a style, a behavior, which has got the quality of Sri Krishna, which is called as Madhurya, means melodious. Melodious. We should talk in such a manner that it should be melodious. The person who listens to you listens as if he is listening to the flute of Sri Krishna. The voice of a Sahajogi should be sweet, like that. When you talk to someone, it should be melodious. It should not be aggressive at all, but on the contrary, it should be melodious. It should not be sarcastic. It should not hurt another person. Any word that hurts others cannot be coming from the proper type of right Vishuddhi. So in no way one should hurt. I wish all the Sahajogis develop that melodious voice of Sri Krishna as their Vishuddhi is awakened. Madhurya, in his behavior, Madhurya is, see, while talking to someone, there are so many gestures by which you can express your Madhurya. For example, especially in Italy and other places, I have seen people use too much of their hands. This is also Sri Krishna's style. So they use their hands in such a way that sometimes you don't understand what they are meaning. And sometimes it can be quite aggressive also, the way they use their hands. Now the hands must be used in such a way that it should create madhurya. I have seen this in Russia, or especially in Eastern blocs, where people, they have to express their love. Just this. You have to say namaste. The whole expression is so sweet, and also their heart is very full when they see me. So they don't know how to express it. So they just put their hands like this. Or they feel shy, they do like this. Very, very sweet things they express through their hands, through their eyes. It is the tears, you see, that really create such clouds of, I should say, very dense clouds of compassion in my heart when I see their eyes expressing their love for me. Everything, the tears, everything, that's the face, the eyes, the hands, all this belong to Sri Krishna. So in their behavior, in their talking, how they express themselves. You can use the same eyes for showing your temper and getting angry. Many people use eyes for controlling others. They'll put their eyes like this, stare at someone, try to control. They may use their eyes also for condemning someone. Also sometimes they use sort of spit at someone or try to show the tongue to insult someone. So in the behavior also, we must have a kind of a sweetness. Like when I went to England first, I learnt English in my own way, but when I went there newly, they said, now if you have to say a word like thought, you must say thought. I said, what? You must take out your tongue and say thought. I said, it's absurd. Why should you take out your tongue? He said, unless until you take out your tongue like that, it's not something proper expression. So I said, this is English, you have developed some nonsensical thing to show tongue at everyone. Even a child, when he gets angry, automatically he shows his tongue. So you see, all these expressions are, and making faces. Now, as they say that stiff upper lip, see, you must have heard about that. With a nose like that, you see, snooty nose, or a face where you just make your faces, and make a crooked face just to tease someone, or to make an expression out of your nose. Also people do it like this, you see, to show as if you are sneezing at that person. All these things, expressions are coming out of Sri Krishna's grace. But the power of that is madhurya, is the sweetness, the melodiousness. The rapport should be so sweet that that rapport should create tremendous joy and tremendous happiness. As you have heard the song of Baba Mama's, On My Eyes, only I looked at him, I says with that glance, that generated that beautiful music in him. So as far as possible, try to put your eyes on the greenery, that's the best. Then it soothes down, and also you develop the soothing quality of the greenery. I always tell people that better see the greenery around, how it soothes your eyes. In the same way, you should try to soothe the other person when you talk to that person. The person must melt. Instead of that, if you start arguing and fighting with that person will never melt. On the contrary, you will be adding fire, more fire to that person. That was the quality of Sri Krishna, is the madhurya. And that is expressed in his lifetime, how he beautifully managed to say things in his own sweetness, especially in his childhood. The another quality which Sri Krishna has, which we can express through our right Vishuddhi, is diplomacy. But there are two types of diplomacies. One is genuine, one is artificial. In the genuine diplomacy, you do not have to take to a certain standard, or you don't have to read some books to know what is diplomacy. Is it genuinely it comes to you. The whole thing works very sweetly in such a genuine manner. I have used it many a times myself, and you all can use it also many a times. That's only possible if you don't get angry with someone. Not possible if you are angry. Now there's a story I have told you about some this Gagangarh Maharaj. I went to meet him, and he was very angry because he could not stop the rain. He was supposed to stop the rain, and I was all drenched. And he was so angry, and he said that, is it my ego you were trying to control? And like that we started little bit fighting. I said, no, that's not the reason. He said, why? Why did you not allow me to stop the rain? You are all drenched. I said, because you are a sannyasi and you bought a sari for me. I would not take a sari from a sannyasi. So I had to get drenched for your sake. The whole thing finished off. The whole anger, temper finished off. This is how we have to melt people. The diplomacy is not convincing anybody with his intellect or by temper or anything, but it is to melt away another person by your goodness, by your good words, by your sweet works, by your forgiving nature. This quality he had, and he tried this on many people. It worked on some, it did not work on some. He didn't feel it's a failure. It's the reaction of the another person which is important to be seen. So this quality of right Vishuddhi you should have, is to talk to others and melt them away.